Morning, Tubo. So here I am back in Sanctuary in the barren wastes of Fallout 4. This time around, as you can see at the minute, I haven't actually made a base at all. Even though I put out that base building guide, I haven't actually got around to making my own proper base yet. So this is what I'm going to be doing today, and I'm going to be giving you a load of different tips in how to make it as defensible as you can, how best to set it up, how best to go about laying it out, and all the rest of it kind of stuff. I'm going to go into a fair bit of detail about placing walls, defenses, all that kind of stuff. So this video is really going to give you some good advice in how to make your sanctuary really defensible, but the tips I'm going to be giving you are going to be useful in all your other bases as well. So first things first, what I'm going to be doing is going around the entire portion of Sanctuary, and I'm going to be scrapping literally everything that I can see, as I'm starting to do here. This place is still an absolute mess, so it's going to take me ages to go around and scrap everything. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm obviously not going to put that whole portion of video in because it's a good hour or so long, but I will catch up with you and we'll get started in the actual base building part of it. So then guys, you've just caught me at the end of scrapping literally everything in this town. It has taken me so long. It's taken me probably about 3/4 of an hour to go around the whole town, scrap literally everything I can see. There may be a couple bits I've missed, but there is literally nothing left in this town now. Everything off the floor I've scrapped, all the picket fences I've scrapped, everything in the houses I've scrapped, literally scrapped everything that I can. Trying to just keep the beds at the minute, although I am actually going to remove that one, and then I'm going to actually replace these in a bit more of a central location. What I'm thinking is, a few of you have actually, I've been talking to you about base building, and some of you have actually come up with a fan-tastic idea of going around the whole actual town, putting up a big fence and then working your way around the town like that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to carry on exactly how I said from my base building guide. I'm going to still be using this as my central point in the town, which I would actually advise you to do as well. Have a central focus point, because then you can have your actual bells, so if you do become under attack or you need to gather all your villagers or something, whatever, then you know exactly where that bell is and exactly where everyone's going to be going to. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move all these farm bits in a minute, but now that I've actually scrapped everything, I have so much in the way of resources, it's absolutely ridiculous. So I'm going to look at putting up a wire fence all the way around. What I'm going to do as well is I'm going to bottleneck the bridge here. I've been thinking about this for a couple of days now, how best to do this. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be setting up a bit of a bottleneck here. So my first fence is actually going to go on top of the bridge here, and then it's literally just going to be one way in then. And what I am going to do is, literally, if I can get this turned around, there we go. Nope, not there, thank you. Maybe I didn't need to put those bits down to begin with. There we go. So stick that one in. Come on. Now this is a bit of a fiddle. Let's get right. Tell you what, don't worry about that. Let's get rid of these for a minute. Right. Scrap those. Right. Let's try it again, shall we? You can tell I haven't actually built anything yet, can't you? So let's put up. What's that? Right. Corner bit. That actually may suit us a little bit better. We can turn it around like that. Why is it not letting me build you? Can I do it at an angle? No, of course I can't. Right. Let's just go with the straight bits then. And actually, let's have it a little bit diagonal, so it does force people down. into like this kind of area here. What I'm going to do then is I'm going to fence off these bits as well, and then I'm going to have a load of turrets set up all the way down here. So if you are not very friendly, you will not be getting through this part very easily, that's for sure. I'm going to carry on doing my build, and then I'll catch up with you in just a second. You can see how fiddly this is starting to become, so I'm going to be here for a little while yet doing this, I think. So I don't want to bore you with my terrible building skills. Just sit there, thank you. Awesome. So I'll catch up with you in just a second, and we'll see how we're getting on, shall we? So hey guys, here we are back in Sanctuary, and you can tell I've made loads and loads of changes. So what I've done, I'm going to go right back down to the bottom, and I'm going to show you exactly what I've done. So what I have done, just briefly, is I've gone around the outside of creating an outer perimeter of walls all the way around the town, so hopefully no one will be getting in. I've tried to use all the hedges, buildings and all the rest of it as like natural defense as well, so because I have absolutely blitzed through the steel. I had almost 2,000 when I started this. I'm now down to about 200. I have used so much steel making this. So what I've done is, as I said, I made this bit of a bottleneck with the wire fences, but up one heavy turret there which is going to be guarding the river, but also 2 spotlights powered up by that generator over there, and then 4 normal turrets here. I wanted to put a couple more turrets in and traps, but I need to try and save all my resources now because I've used so many. For my inside perimeter, I actually thought this is going to be a better way of doing it. Rather than trying to defend this massive area if loads of raiders came at me, I actually built a inside perimeter as well, which I'll show you in a second. Like I said though, I've used all these walls as well along the river as natural defences, and I've actually blocked off the parts, Mr. Tree there, blocked off the parts that are actually a little bit at risk, so this obviously allowed people to run up. It's now completely blocked off. I've left a couple of these gaps because when I actually get a few more resources in, what I'm going to be doing is setting up a couple of turrets to defend the river as well, just in case the raiders decide to run over there. The river, I've got a couple of turrets to defend me then as well. I've got a good line of sight because I'm at an elevation here as well, so raiders running across the river will be easy pickings, especially because they've got absolutely nowhere to go, because they cannot get past this little bank and these walls here. They're completely, like, this is absolutely fantastic natural defensive. So I missed picnic benches as well. So like I said, I've carried this wall all the way around, so I haven't gone right out to the green edge. I've come in a little bit, and just because that's where the natural defences are, whereas right out there it's going to be a bit more of a pain in the ass to do. I have left a couple of gaps and things just so I can see in different spots around me, but also I can see like above fences here. But like I said, all these natural bushes, the thick bushes anyway, just make sure, just try and walk through them. If you can't walk through them, raiders can't. So any gaps like this as well, like that one, needs a bit of plugging actually, because you should not be able to do that. That's the best thing to do though. Once you've actually made all your walls and everything, go around, see if you can actually get through any of them. If you can, just block them off like that, so no one else can get through them. That one maybe, yeah, he's perfect. But actually, really enjoy doing this. It's taken me so long to do, but actually really enjoyed doing this. But as you can see, I have left a bit of an escape route here, although that's not actually going to help me now, what I've done anyway with the internal, so I'm just going to block that off. I am going to set a couple turrets and random traps up in this part, but I'm probably not going to be using this part that much. Any houses, what I wanted to say is any houses or anything, make sure that you've gone through, scrapped everything in them. This is going to be where my first tip is actually. As you're going through the houses, there's loads and loads of containers. Now what I did in my first episode, or my second episode on my melee run through, is I actually went through all the houses and try to find all the stuff in the containers. What I'm going to say is don't bother, because when you actually get around to base building and you come and scrap everything, anything that's contained in the containers, when you scrap that container, so anything like a box, cabinet, fridge, anything like that, the actual materials inside will go straight into your workshop anyway, so you're definitely going to be picking up those bits and bobs. Also, if you haven't checked out my base building guide, go have a look at it, because there's loads of good tips in there. And what I am just going to very briefly say in this one is use the houses to your advantage. So all the beds and everything I'm going to be chucking back in the I'm going to move him. I didn't realise I had one of those. These fucking melons keep popping up everywhere as well. Use the houses already. They're already set up. Use them as bases. What I did say in the first one though is have a focal point, like I've already mentioned. This is the focal point. So this is what I've designed this to do. I'm going to put a load of turrets and stuff up here in a second. But what I've designed this to do is if we get attacked from the bridge over there, we can actually run all the way up here, and then we can actually come back into this inner perimeter here. So I've tried to block this off so there's only one way in and out of here. And what I'm going to do right now is set up a couple of turrets. I can still make a couple of heavy turrets, so that's what I'm going to do, is just put one of these each side. This should hopefully stop any raiders following you. Worst come to worst though, they do get into this inside perimeter. I've completely blocked this out from the outside, so this can't be penetrated any other way from that way. But I've also made what is going to be a fallback house. So the way of defending stuff in real life, in games, whatever, is always defend a smaller area compared to a larger area. It's so much easier to defend a smaller area than it is a larger one. This is going to be the main, or the last fallback point. So anywhere past, there is nowhere past here. This is it. Now if we get stuck into this house, we've just got to either defend or die. That's it. Like, I know there's a few gaps and everything in the house which raiders be able to shoot at us from, but to be honest, the inside of it should be a lot easier to defend than the entire city. So that's going to be another tip, is always have a outside perimeter. So that's the main wall all the way around the sanctuary or your base, wherever you're building it. Have an inside perimeter as well. Make another inside base, cover that with turrets. Make sure that your focal point, the bit that you can call people back to, is inside that bit as well. This is going to be your main area of your base, so this is going to contain all your important stuff. Try, on earth are you doing up there? Try and have all your important bits like your craft stations and everything in here, your recruitment bill, your fast travel pad, just in case. Everything inside. This is going to be more heavily fortified than your outside perimeter is, because you want to be making sure there's only one way in and out of here. Inside your inside perimeter, have a very last resort fallback area. I'm going to advise you to use one of the houses, preferably a little bit back from the actual entrance into your inside perimeter, so you can take a few more raiders out, and then you can actually run into like a little area set up like this. So it's a bottleneck that you've actually set up yourself. It means the raiders are going to have to come through here, and they're going to get torn to shreds by your heavy turrets first, your traps, whatever else you're going to put in here. But then also you can all come back into here and then actually just defend from one spot, which is far easier than trying to defend from multiple spots. So I'm going to carry on anyway. I'm going to put a bit at the end of what my base finally looks like, but I'm going to leave it here in terms of commentary. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Like I said, go back, check out the base building guide that I actually put up on my channel a few days ago. I'll put a link in the description and the on the video somewhere around. Click that one, that will take you straight back to the guide. Loads and loads of top tips and their advice and all the rest of it if you're just getting around to base building. I put in everything about the water, power, food and all the rest of it in there. Really, really fun thing to do actually. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to set up a load of guard posts and everything along this road, and then I'm going to actually go back out into the world and start playing the game again, because I've spent so long doing this. It's starting to wear me down a little bit, and I just want to go and shoot something, to be honest. But thank you for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it. Hope some of the tips I've put in this video are going to help you with your own base as well. Take a picture of your base once you've actually made it up. I'd love to see different base designs, see how people have actually made their bases. I'd love to get a bit of a discussion going about how best to make a base. Obviously, this is only my first base. There's going to be loads more bases coming up in the world soon. But like I said, take a picture, upload, put a link in the description in the comments. Tell us how you've built your base. Be wonderful, be awesome to see how people are building their bases differently. But like I said, thank you for watching, guys. Hope you've enjoyed it. As always, I will catch you in the next one.